Everything seems to be malfunctioning. Coros watch isn't really working, and the elevation's bouncing around. Phone keeps shutting off. Supposedly we're within 200 feet of the top. I've got about 20 feet of visibility, I feel like, this stretch. At the top of this trail, there's a 12,000 foot peak that I'm going to attempt to climb to. We attempted this trail a year ago. We were unsuccessful. It was too snowy, too deep, and just too extreme for us to be able to get up to this 12,000 foot peak. A year later, I'm back here to try to summit Delano Peak here in southern Utah and see if we can make it to the top for a little bit of revenge. Now, we've got some weather coming in tomorrow. We may have a little bit of snow today, but we're gonna go up this trail, get camp set up, and see how it goes. I checked the temperature. It is 37 degrees and dropping pretty quickly. So cold out here, but when you're moving and we're just climbing all the way up here, it's actually not too bad. Joe, what are you most excited for about this trip?
The hot tent with the fire running.
They're gonna say your sleeping pad.
Oh yeah, my new sleeping pad.
For those of you members out there, we now have Thermarest pads on the back end of the membership, so you can save some money on those, especially for these extreme conditions. We'll see how long Derek and Brigham have been sitting here. Me and Joe hung back quite a ways to film a few things for some new products coming out. So we'll see if Derek already has our spot flattened out and everything ready to roll. I think this is the warmest looking you've ever looked out here in the woods. Summer or winter.
That's right.
We have no tent stakes. So we're gonna have to build some tent stakes.
I say.
There we go. All right, let's talk for a second about how I typically set up camp once I get here. The first thing I typically do is put on a layer that's gonna allow all the moisture that's on my body, the sweat, to evaporate, stay warm, so I'm not cooling off too fast. I'll typically wait until I start to cool off to put that layer on, but I don't put my puffy jacket on straight away, because if I put my puffy jacket on, I'm gonna be trapping more of that moisture in the jacket because they're not as breathable, and I'm also gonna be introducing moisture to my puffy layer.
I lost a snowshoe and fell right into the snow.
Oh, yikes. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is pull out the tent itself and start making sure that this place is big enough for it, kind of lay it out on the ground and make sure we're good to go. I just wanted to mention that because I think when you're hiking in, a lot of times you start to get sweaty, you start to get hot, and there's a temptation to, when you get to camp, well, you put your puffy jacket on or you just forget to layer up all together. But control that, because sometimes you'll get moving, you'll forget what you're doing, which I've done before, and you get way too cold, or sometimes you'll throw your puffy on and then all of that moisture doesn't get a chance to evaporate. So I'm gonna put a Ventus hoodie on next. I'm gonna work around camp, get everything going, and then as soon as I'm like stopping and the weather's really cooling off, that's when I'm gonna go for my Nova Pro to stay warm. Camp is set. The sun is just about down. These snowy peaks are absolutely gorgeous behind us. This is probably one of the most popular campsites on the entire mountain. So it gets, in the summer months, just gets destroyed for firewood. So I'm gonna go on a little hunt here and see if I can't find some thicker wood that'll burn in that stove longer than just a flash. So. Are you wishing you had skis?
Definitely, yeah, to go down.
Yeah. Joe's shaking his head.
What's wrong with you people?
God. You wouldn't even have to like hike.
I can't do it. Like I couldn't skateboard when I was a kid. Anything where it's like my feet on a thing.
I didn't know you ever had a gym membership, actually. Where were you going?
Vasa. I was there for a couple of years.
There's a Vasa?
Yeah, it's over by the Megaplex.
The worst movie theater in Utah. I was watching Babylon, and this 60-year-old dude and his wife up in the front. She's pulling out her phone all the time, so I'm just seeing it. It's driving me nuts. And then she has it on Instagram. She starts playing a video. And then I yelled very loudly, "This isn't your living room."
Oh.
And then the guy goes, "Rah." I can't even remember actually. I used to remember what it said, but it was like, "Rah." And I just wanted to fight. I was like, please. I could beat the crap out of you, you old man.
So mad.
Did you come to the movies to look at your phone the whole time?
Well, it snowed on us pretty much all night, as you can see around the tent here. And it was only supposed to snow like an inch yesterday and maybe 2 inches throughout today. So this could make the day a little more challenging. Derek, how'd you sleep over there in that pile of bags?
Too warm. I had to take off layers, and my pad kept running out of air, so I had to blow it up like 3 times.
Really?
I don't know if I have a leak or something, but when it was inflated, it was plenty warm. It just every now and then I find myself on the ground.
Real question is, did Joe stay warm in his pile of bags?
Oh, I stayed warm.
Just didn't sleep.
Definitely stayed warm. It was the fact that
That kept landing on you? I thought I was far enough away from the edge that I had feet of gap, and yeah, I ended up being touched and squished by the edge as well. According to this, the coldest it got last night was only 30 degrees inside the tent. But I think, like, I've got this graph and it's going like up and down all over. I think I probably was squishing this thermometer between myself and the wall. In fact, I am right now. So I'm guessing when I would roll over and lean into that thermometer, it would heat up. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting out there.
just think of it as your Mount Everest.
Every time I come back, something bad happens.
Man, I love how easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. Probably just 2, maybe 3 inches is all. Still see the tips of my branches over here. All right, somewhere up there in the snow is Delano Peak. I think it's going to be a little more challenging today than we were hoping or expected, but just take it step by step. Meanwhile, Joe, you're heading out. Derek,
Yeah. It's done.
thanks for joining.
Thanks for sharing the big tent.
Yeah,
It was warm.
I had the
finally had a warm night for Joe.
Yeah, it was probably the most comfortable winter trip I've had.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. No skis.
We've got not a whole lot of miles to cover, but a whole lot of vertical to cover. From where we're at right now, should be about 2,000 feet and very steep. The trail is already not as packed in as well. And we have new snow. So it's gonna be a grind today, and hopefully we don't see some really nasty weather. Brigham left his trekking poles holding up his tent. So we only have 2,000 feet to climb in the snow, so
Big deal.
no big deal. I feel like that means I'm going to be breaking trail now. All right.
We can take turns, and whoever's breaking trail can use the poles.
Yeah. Well, this will be fun. The climbing is about to begin. No.
Yeah, there's a
What?
two twin bed platforms.
Heck yeah. Dude, so do they build
And
this
it's
every year?
insulated.
Like, how do they build this and take this down?
Yeah, they set these things up, man.
Oh, those kind of accordion back together, don't they?
And they take the top down.
All right.
It's cool, man.
Now we know we're coming back.
It should be like a company trip next winter.
Yeah. Oh my. Dude, bathroom, yurt. That's... We're gonna be going up that ridge right there. You can't tell, but that is way higher than us. Might look flat to get up there. No, that's
Significantly higher.
a significant grade. We were kind of hoping that a snowmobile would run up here, but we've lost the snowmobile tracks a while ago. And we got our trusty 2 trekking poles to break ground for us.
Anytime you're like in mountains with snow, like there's gonna be a heightened level of risk. The biggest risk is avalanches, and this hike, we've mapped it out so many times and looked at the terrain, and the route we're taking is about as low risk as you can take. We use tools like Onyx backcountry. There's some, you can turn on a layer that has like the avalanche terrain. So anything over 30 degrees is gonna show in kind of a color mapping. So we use that to plan the route, and then just an awareness of not being on or under 30-degree slopes. We do have in reaches, snow shovels. That's about it.
That's 2 feet of drop there, and just getting steeper. And I would say the last thing that I was thinking about as we were coming up here today was, if we did get in trouble, we wouldn't hit the SOS button, right? I think that both of us would say, all right, text some of the people that we personally know to come and get us out, right? Because they know where we're at, they know how we think, they know what we're doing, they know that if we hit this button, they know the level of urgency. Yeah, you can always hit that SOS button and wait for the local police and search and rescue to come for you, but I would probably reach out to Tyler in our office and tell him to reach out to a buddy of mine who has snowmobiles, and I would have a lot of faith that they could be up here in a matter of maybe 2 hours, whereas sometimes you hit SOS button and we've heard of cases of 18 hours, before people are getting in there. Obviously that's different conditions, but you just don't know what you're getting with the SOS button versus having people that know you, knowing your plans, knowing your route, and things of that nature. You go first, I'll stay here. I'll put my hand up when I get to the bottom of the avalanche. Yeah, that didn't sound good. I think Brigham's screwing with me. Heard a nice weird breaking of the snow underneath us. Told me it sounds like an avalanche. I think he's freaking me out. Oh! Get on some flatter terrain here shortly. Out of that.
Where's your other bottle?
I put it in the bag.
Oh, okay.
All right, we just stopped for some calories. Standing right below a false summit that I got a little hopeful for, and decided to take some elevation guesses.
Very false.
Very false summit. Brigham guessed 11.3, I guessed 11.5. We're only at 11.2, which means we still have 1,000 feet of climbing to this peak. Dude, this phone freaking hates the cold or something. Just like turned off again. This rock pile right here may be the worst of the climb. We'll see. 3.5 hours of climbing into this. Still can't see the peak yet. But lots of false summits. So, my good friend Miley Cyrus would say, it's always gonna be another mountain. Always gonna wanna make it. How you feeling, Brigham?
Just looking forward to the amazing views.
You can see a ways off that way, but I've got about 20 feet of visibility, I feel like, this direction. Well, everything seems to be malfunctioning. Coros watch isn't really working. My heart rate's been in the same spot and the elevation's bouncing around. And phone keeps shutting off. It's colder right now than it was in the middle of the night last night for sure. But we're making progress. I think we're within 200 feet of the top. Dude, that's the sign. Is that it? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, look at that view. Mind your step here, huh? That looks like a long ways down. Wow. I kept telling myself we had 200 feet more, 200 feet more, you know. There you go. Here's your freaking selfie with the sign. Delano Peak, Or should I say Delano Peak. That's quite the icicle hanging off there. Look at this view though. I can see absolutely nothing. 4.1 miles, 4 hours and 15 minutes. Dude, you got some killer sweet side beard icicles.
Oh, nice.
I've never seen those.
Nice.
Oh yeah. See if we can sign in here. Look at this. Just oh my gosh. Dude, I got double desserts tonight. Raspberries and brownie bites and old-fashioned apple crisp. There's some big old ice cubes in there. 7 hours and 1 minute since we left this morning, and basically 8 miles on the dot. So, and if my watch was right, 3,700 feet of climbing, but I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. I just realized that my water is all frozen, so you actually just take some water, put it down in your pot, and then you add your bottle in there to start warming up that water. That will keep the bottom of that from melting and allow it to start warming that up. Well, as per the usual, the day we're not trying to summit Delano is a perfect day. Hot coals. I'm using some carbon fiber snowshoes and they're pretty good. They're super lightweight, which is the reason I picked them, but there's two things I don't like about these. I love Compradale's trekking poles, but these snowshoes, I don't know if I'd recommend. First, they kick snow at you because they've got some holes in the back that just scoop up snow. So as you're going, it's throwing snow at your butt and then at the back of your legs. And two, in real world conditions like this, where we like to take things, the webbing just freezes up. I think you need to stay with plastic bindings, rubberized bindings, something like that, because I can't tighten these up. And it's been a problem kind of this whole trip, but they are very light and they're very fast. So multi-day trips though, I might stick with something like the MSRs. All right guys, we just broke camp. We've got about 3 or 4 miles back to the truck, and that's a wrap on our revenge attempt of Delano. I don't know how the trip could have gone any better. We had some fun moments, we had some kind of sketchy moments, but overall it was an awesome time. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and we'll see you guys on the next one.